Welcome back to another episode of your Digi Hustle News. As always, I'm Wade Teamer. Binance, BlackRock, Intel, YouTube, and the US Federal Reserve are all pushing us closer to mainstream adoption. Also, we have some very surprising news for holders of Acoin. A major development has been made, the details of which you are not going to want to miss. But first, we got to jump into these charts. Everything is still going according to plan today. The weekly chart has our next level of resistance at 51K. The daily is looking stable also. You can see that we are riding that top Bollinger Band perfectly. The 3 and the 4 hour charts, however, actually indicate that we may swing between 44 and 43 throughout the rest of the afternoon as we get ready for one of the biggest weekends of the year so far. Now, I wholly expect the move to come not just from Bitcoin, but CRO as well, guys. You can see CRO has been pumping ever since let's just say January 23rd. But I really noticed that the momentum has increased the closer that we got to the Super Bowl, guys. Again, they got that huge ad placement. This doesn't surprise me at all that we are now creeping ever closer to that 60 cent range. And honestly, if you look at the RSI, we got the room for it and the strength. So, really excited, really exciting day for the market. Our first story takes us over to the Acoin ecosystem as more development has been made towards the emergence of Acorn City. A new office has been established in Mawale Medical and Technology City that will house some of the more educational and entrepreneurial activities. This is something different, guys, something that you don't see with other blockchain projects. They are actively working hand in hand with a city to develop a brand new modern infrastructure. Now, the biggest gripe at the moment that I'm seeing in the Acoin investor community is that developments are taking too long to happen. Well, let me say this: to build generational wealth, you have to be able to look decades into the future. What Warren Buffett said applies best to this very asset. If you're not willing to hold on to it for at least 10 years, then you're not really invested at all. Now, I want to show you something, guys, that I had to really dig for. But if you follow me on Twitter, you will see earlier this afternoon, I posted this image. This is the other side of this building here, guys. Now, what you can see here proudly and displayed so beautifully, Acoin Foundation, okay? The Effect Network, which is also a partner with Acoin, they will be responsible for the entrepreneurial development, the education, and things like that. Also, you can see this is a hospital, the name of which I can't recall at the moment. I want to say that it's Hamptons. I'll have to double check on it. But nevertheless, this is one of the hospitals that is actively using Acoin for patients for medical services. So developments are still happening, guys, but keep in mind, this is a very long-term play. Next up, BlackRock has just solidified the crypto industry. The $10 trillion asset manager and owner of everything is looking to set up a crypto trading platform for its institutional clientele. Those institutional clients we have all heard of. BlackRock is one of the entities that everything else in the world is connected to. So, if they're opening the door for their institutional connections to get involved in crypto, this might be how we see more mainstream or legacy companies enter the space. Just take a look at some of BlackRock's holdings. The names of those companies will strike you right away. Next, we have YouTube sharpening their focus on the NFT and metaverse sectors. This morning, they stated how NFTs can offer way more advantages for creators to engage with their audience. With that, they're really going to focus on NFT offerings first before they dive deeper into the metaverse. Now, it's two things I want to point out here. One, I want to be the first to turn my thumbnails into NFTs. Secondly, the only blockchain relationship YouTube could potentially have to build these NFTs on is Hedera Hashgraph. And Google, their parent company, did just amp up its blockchain division. So, there are some questions that need to be answered here. Don't worry, guys, I've been working on it and we'll talk about it this weekend. Next, we have Intel getting into the Bitcoin mining industry. Word is that Intel is set to unveil an ASICs machine specifically built for Bitcoin mining. The event is going to be called the International Solid State Circuits Conference. This is a global tech forum where Intel will show their Bitcoin mining ambitions to the world. Now, this brings up a question. If Intel does pursue further into Bitcoin mining ventures, will this bring more attention to the Bitcoin mining industry? We saw the exodus last year, and a large sum of it is now happening in the United States. And I also can't finish this segment without mentioning Hut 8 mining. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is not financial advice, but Hut 8 is one of the largest holders of BTC in the world, up there with MicroStrategy. They also mine Bitcoin, and the best part, the stock is still under $10 for now. I have been holding for close to a year now, guys. If you've been with the channel for a minute, you may have seen me mention this before. But if Intel is about to electrify the Bitcoin mining industry, this is one of my Bitcoin mining stocks. Wouldn't be doing this channel justice if I didn't share this move with you guys. Our next story, the U.S. Federal Reserve has appointed Susan M. Collins as the first Black woman to head a Federal Reserve Bank in history. She will take the position previously held by Eric Rosengren and will assume office on July 1st. Now, this is big for everybody because it really opens the door for new relationships to be formed. The first one that came to mind when I read this was our friend over at MTech, Caramel Cadet. She is already actively working alongside the Federal Reserve and has been for years up to this point. So we have a sense of familiarity and natural business dynamics at work here. Collins will see her work and know that MTech would be the best fit for America's CBDC. Don't worry, guys, we'll cover this too more in depth in this weekend's HBAR video. Now, for our main story, Binance continues its global conquest. This morning, it was announced that Binance had acquired a large stake in the 100-year-old publication Forbes magazine. This move will help Forbes in a later SPAC deal that is slated for the coming weeks. But this is also making Binance the second largest shareholder of the company. With this, they now have 2 out of 9 seats on the board there. Coming from Binance, they stated that this is a way to build further into the Web3 market. But in what way could Forbes play a role in this? Well, I'm thinking it has something to do with all the publishing rights that Forbes has. They've been in this game for a century now. Now Binance is going to take them into the future. Another thing to think about here. This also means that if Binance wanted to, they could use Forbes and its subsidiaries as advertising channels, placing their name and face in front of hundreds of millions of people on a reoccurring basis. Talk about brand recognition, folks. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this information with friends and family. If you're new to crypto, I have links to the most notable exchanges in the description. Using the links below supports the channel and comes with special bonuses for members of our network. For more information on the new economy, check out the playlist related to this episode on the right and our most recent episode on the left. As always, have a great day, have a prosperous day. Most importantly, we making this money. I'll see y'all in the next one.